When you're talking about huge projects and high-stakes deals, a simple handshake just isn't going to cut it. Today, we're breaking down a really important financial tool that helps make these deals happen, but honestly is often misunderstood. We're talking about the surety bond.
I mean, think about it. Imagine you're in charge of a multi-million-dollar construction project. You give your word, you look someone in the eye, you shake hands. But when the stakes are that high, is a promise really enough to guarantee everything goes right?
The reality is, for those really big commitments, both sides need something more than just a feeling of trust. They need a rock-solid, legally binding guarantee that promises will be kept and the job will get done. It's all about managing risk and making sure everyone is secure. And that's exactly where this powerful tool comes into play. That guarantee, the thing that makes these massive projects and serious agreements possible, is the surety bond. And that's what we're going to explain right now. Okay, so what in the world is a surety bond? Well, at its core, it's a pretty unique kind of promise, and it always involves three key players. Let's break down this three-party promise. Here's a great way to think about it. A surety bond is kind of like having a super powerful cosigner for a professional promise. Now, it's not insurance for you, but it's a total assurance for the person you're making that promise to. So, if we're going to get technical for a second, this is the textbook definition. It's a three-party agreement. The key to understanding how this whole thing works is to know who those three parties are. First up, you've got the principal. That's the person or company making the promise, like a contractor. Then you have the obligee. That's the project owner, the one receiving the promise. And finally, you have the surety. This is a neutral, third-party company that issues the bond and basically guarantees the principal's promise. So if the principal fails, the surety steps in to make things right for the obligee. All right, so now that we know the who and the what, let's talk about the why. Why is this whole setup so important? It's all about how this simple guarantee can build a powerful system of trust. So what is it that makes this guarantee so critical in the real world? Well, it really boils down to three huge benefits that create a much more secure and reliable way of doing business. First and foremost, it's all about protection. For the obligee, the project owner, that bond is a financial safety net. If the contractor just can't finish the job or breaks the rules, the bond protects the obligee from taking a massive financial hit. Second, trust. And this is actually a huge benefit for the principal, the one getting the bond. See, to even get a surety bond, you have to go through a pretty intense vetting process. So just having one sends a powerful signal that a respected financial company has checked you out and thinks you're a reliable and trustworthy partner. And third, access. A lot of the time, bonds aren't just a good idea. They're totally non-negotiable. For things like government contracts or certain business licenses, having a surety bond is a legal must-have. Without it, you can't even get in the game. Now, of course, not all promises are the same, so it makes sense that not all bonds are the same either. They generally fall into four main categories, and each one is tailored for a specific kind of situation. It's pretty straightforward, really. You have contract bonds, which are the absolute backbone of the construction world. Then there are commercial bonds, which a business might need, say a car dealership, to guarantee they'll follow the law. You've also got court bonds for legal proceedings and fiduciary bonds, which make sure that people managing money for others, like in an estate, are doing it honestly. Okay, so you get it. You know what a bond is, you know why you might need one, but how do you actually go about getting one? Let's walk through the steps. The process is actually a lot like applying for a business loan. First, you figure out exactly what kind of bond you need and for how much. Then, you apply, submitting your financial info and work history. The really critical part is the underwriting. That's where the surety company digs in and evaluates how reliable you are. If they think you're a good risk, you just pay a premium, and boom, the bond is issued. So what does this guarantee cost? Well, the great news is you don't pay the full bond amount. Instead, you just pay a premium, which is a small percentage of the total, usually somewhere between 1 and 15%. Now, that's a pretty wide range, and it's because the surety is basically placing a bet on you. The stronger your financials and track record, the lower your premium is going to be. This quote really just sums it all up perfectly. Bonds are so much more than a piece of paper. They are a fundamental tool for creating an environment of accountability. They make sure that what's promised is what's actually delivered. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. Whether you're a contractor, a business owner, or maybe you're dealing with legal stuff, what's the most crucial promise that your business makes?
And could that promise be made even stronger with the guarantee of a surety bond? Something to think about.